Kicking It with Stephen Fans, your favorite host right here. Stephen A. 1181. We got Greg One over there, ready to rock and roll. Happy Forbidden Door Sunday. So, question, Greg, what has been the most forbidden door you've ever stepped
Most forbidden door moment. Interesting. You know what? I think I don't know if it's actually a forbidden door moment, but going back to before the internet and when you could watch wrestling and guys could move and you wouldn't find out about it a month or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month beforehand. When you saw them, it was a shock. Um, so I had to go back to what I considered the greatest debut ever, and that's the end of the millennium, Y2J and the countdown clock with The Rock standing in the ring, and boom, the debut of Jericho on Monday Night Raw. Nobody knew it. Well, maybe a couple people knew it, as evidenced by a couple of the signs in the audience, but you didn't see those signs before it happened. And that's when you didn't. These things weren't leaked. You didn't find out about it until it happened. So, being a big WCW fan and guy who's loved Jericho since the beginning, seeing him on Monday Night Raw just popped me to the moon. And that's still, in my opinion, like the greatest debut of a wrestler from one company coming to another company. Did their contract expired or whatever, but we didn't know that back then. So it was a huge shock, a huge pop. And that clip of Jericho debuting at the end of the countdown to the Millennium Clock and the Titantron and everything was just, you know, off the page. And I still watch it every now and then just to say that, see that promo, see that debut, and hear that crowd pop. Still gives me goosebumps.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go when Vince McMahon introduced Eric freaking Bischoff. You had him, part of WWE. I mean, because who would have ever thunk that Bischoff and McMahon would work together in any capacity, Greg? So that
True.
would be maybe my forbidden door. And me personally, just walking to any club where I felt like I wasn't expected to be at. So I've walked through a few forbidden doors. Even though some of those doors have banned me, Greg, from coming in. So whatever.
Hey,
Best
how
story
about
there.
the honorable mention for Shane turning up on Nitro and talking about the sale
Okay.
of
And
WCW?
on the name, but not Vince. So.
Right.
Or maybe even Paul Heyman working with WWE, all the ECW original kind of invasion, where we had Sabu jumping off the W of Raw or R, whichever one it was, pretty much falling over, not really jumping, more of it toppling over and him flailing through the air. But you got to think that too. So, but Greg, we have a lot of matches to pick from or to predict. I did put a little message to David Potter, so if he could join us, that's awesome. If he can't, that's okay too. We'll get him next week or whenever we can. So we got quite a few matches though, so I say we throw it up there. Get started with the buy-in match. We have Max Caster, Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn against a bunch of New Japan guys that I have no idea. So I'm going to go with
Huh.
AEW in this
Well, I'm going to go with the unknown quantities
one.
just
Okay.
because, I like, what they're doing with the acclaimed and the gun club, um, the gun stallions. And it's funny, it's entertaining, and I hated it at the beginning, and now I'm getting into it. Like I said, the scissor thing is going to take off. It's gaining momentum, and whether we like it or not, I think it's going to stay for a while. Um,
It's going to be on the
that
shirt.
being right, that being said, um, I think we're going to get the polar opposites with Team Japan, smash mouth, hard hitting, and you got the jokesters on one side and the straight men on the other. And I think this one is going to be, Team Japan. So I don't know who any of them are, but I think they're going to be the favorites in this match. Just unknown quantity, and they're not going to be the same type of clowny jokester. They're going to be serious. They're going to bring it. So I think Team Japan.
And now I will go the opposite on this. I'm going to go Haruki Goto and Yoshihashi, just because my thoughts on QT Marshall, Greg. he just needs to go away. But or Aaron Solo being stuck with him. Is Aaron Solo the only factory guy left? We did see Anthony Ogogo 1 week, didn't we? I believe.
Yeah, I've seen his name in the crawl for one of the elevation or darker elevation matches.
Okay.
So maybe he's at least back in some. Yeah.
I'm guessing they don't know what to do with it. The Cody Rhodes thing is gone. It feels like they really don't know. We can't forget Booger, Nick Cormado. Yeah. I don't see QT and Aaron pulling off a win here, so I'm going to New Japan side of things on this one.
Yep, I agree. Any team with QT Marshall on it, that's not good in my book, and don't like the guy. Just straight don't like him, and so I can't pull for his team. So 2-0 Team Japan.
All right, and then the last buy-in match. Now this one might be the most intriguing because of the Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. We're getting the will they, won't they break up, Greg, which I think is going to happen sooner rather than later. Probably needs to. I think they were working overall, but I think both guys need to be on their own. I think our tag team division is too full. Too many dance partners, as they say, Greg. We don't need Keith Lee and Swerve as a tag team anymore. It's fine to do it a couple weeks, just so both guys can get on Dynamite. But I think I go New Japan guys as well. The El Desperado and the Shinobi Moru. I hope I said that right. So I'm going to go New Japan in this one too, because I think we're just seeing the cracks, big cracks in the foundation of Swerve and Lee, Greg, which, like I said, is probably needed.
Yeah, I like the way they're doing this. This real heat with Swerve and Keith Lee, going back to when Swerve threw Keith Lee out of the Casino Battle Royal, and of course, they're making nice right now, but you can tell Keith Lee's still salty about it for a good reason, and I like the way they're letting it play out and letting it be there on the surface between them, and getting that realness with it.
Yeah.
So I love how they're doing it, and I figure at some point it's going to explode, but not yet. So this is the one match that I'll go opposite and pull for Team AEW, Swerve and Keith Lee, just to further the storyline and start fixing the cracks a little bit before the whole thing falls apart. So taking Swerve and Lee in this one.
And like you said, it probably wouldn't surprise me to pick up a win now and maybe let it more play out on AEW Dynamite the next couple weeks. But do you think Swerve goes more heel?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's a much better heel than Keith Lee could possibly be.
He definitely has and maybe if you got him with the baddies, I kind of like to see Swerve hook up, not hook up Swerve, Jade and the baddies. I think that'd be interesting. You could have Stokely, kind of building him up too. I think that'd be interesting, kind of positioning. So.
Right, and then maybe you can find a way to pull the Hit Row guys back in. Rebrand them and set them loose. With the baddies.
Do you want
have a nice little?
Now I forget her other name.
Top Dollar and Shanti Adonis.
then the girl,
and BFAB.
BFAB. We haven't heard much from her at all.
Yeah, I think they're all still out of work right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen if they're even doing independent stuff. So, and like we said, I think BFAB still needed some seasoning.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and Tony Khan was interesting. I think he mentioned, we want people that can work right away. We're not training people.
Yeah, but what do you call Jade? She's on the job training.
Money. I mean, obviously, if you see, well, just like, we talk about WWE where they're like, oh, we're not going to take, independent wrestlers anymore. But you think if they, we'll look at Roxanne. I mean, she was totally independent, Ring of Honor. So, and they took her right off the boat. So, yeah, it's just like anything. You just got to find the right person. I just don't know if BFAB Greg would be the one that they would give the on-the-job training. But stranger things have happened, right? So, all right. Well, those are the buy-in matches. I think it'll be a kind of a cool buy-in event to kind of see, like I said, some of these names that I've never personally seen. So let's get to the main card. Let's just go right to it, Greg. Who will be the mystery opponent for Zack Sabre Jr.?
All right, so my money is going to be on Cesaro. It makes sense, the history with all the members of the BCC, aside from Wheeler Yuta, which we don't know if there is a story there, but definitely with Regal and Danielson and Moxley, the history's there. He would fit like a, hand in glove as a honorary member of the BCC, if not a full member, just by being included. And it would make a ton of sense, seeing as he is a excellent technical wrestler. And even though WWE kind of did a poor job of really booking him to his potential, in the right setting, such as this, he could be a huge star. So I think he is going to be the guy we see tonight.
And, well, who picks up the win then?
That's an interesting question because
you debut somebody to lose.
Right. And the thing is, you're debuting both of the guys because unless you're a regular New Japan watcher, we've never seen Zack Sabre Jr. either.
Now, he was on CWC, the Cruiserweight Classic back in the day. Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
That's him and now, of course, whoever, Kenny Omega's former tag partner. Now I knew I was blanking on it. But anyways, so Zack Sabre Jr. was on the CWC. Didn't want to sign, obviously, so they had him lose early on.
Okay.
But anyways.
But in essence, this is still the first time we've seen both of these guys in a match setting, maybe aside from a random match for Zack Sabre. And in this scenario, if it is Cesaro, then I'm going to have to pick Cesaro, just because the way Danielson's already put him over to the moon, and what we already know about him and his ring work, and we know we're going to get like one of those excellent, technical mat wrestling clinics, and it's going to probably end up with some type of Maestro Cradle or small package, type thing that gets a quick win. So if it's Cesaro, I'm picking for Cesaro. If it's another member of the AEW roster that's already there, then I'm probably gonna. Doesn't seem like a BCC pick, but
Johnny Door. Somebody joked they go Johnny Door.
There we go.
Johnny Forbidden. Forbidden Johnny.
No, I'll take Zack Sabre against another member of a current member of the AEW roster. If it's an outside member such as Cesaro, then I'm taking that guy.
I feel like it's got to be an outside guy. I mean, I don't think they would build it up like this if they didn't have some signing. Now, there is a certain Johnny, though, Greg, that was spotted in Chicago today doing a signing. And what's really interesting is he tweeted out a picture of him at the airport, and it said departures. So I'm like, so John, I'm going to do it. Why not, Greg? Johnny Gargano is going to be the mystery opponent.
Oh, really?
I would love to see him at Blood and Guts because he can do it. I mean, him and Ciampa have put on some wars. Now,
Yes, they have.
don't get me wrong, though. Cesaro in a Blood and Guts match, we haven't really seen Cesaro in that type of style, so it would be interesting to see Cesaro. I think Cesaro is the logical point. The most makes sense. Apparently, he's been training back to get back in the ring. What's interesting, they said that is he was spotted in Orlando training at Flatbacks, which I believe is John Spears and Tyler Breeze's place. So we have options either way.
There we
And
go.
about Morrison, how about that? But yeah, I think I'm going to go for Gargano, and I think he wins. Obviously, because essentially this is AEW pay. I mean, we might as well just say it. New Japan is a partner of it, Greg. But it's when it comes down to it, we're going to see these guys on Wednesday night. We're probably not going to see any of these New Japan guys again. Maybe Jay White, maybe Tanahashi, but I don't think we'll see Zack Sabre Jr. back on. Well, he wasn't even on TV. I don't think he was even on Dynamite, was he? I'll just be honest. I did not get a chance to catch up on Dynamite yet this week, so maybe
he did come out on Dynamite.
He did come out. Okay.
He did come out, stand on the stage.
Just waiting for the announcement.
Yeah, Danielson did the promo. I picked my replacement, blah blah blah, and Sabre came out on stage to try to goad him into saying who it was.
I mean, it's got to be Cesaro, but for some reason, I think it'd be a nice little swerve if it was Gargano, and just let him. Especially like I said, if you're doing Blood and Guts this Wednesday, which Bryan Danielson will not be part of. I don't know if you've seen, Greg, but man, the injury list for AEW is. You might as well start a promotion with that list lately. It's lengthy. Next up, how about this one? Chris Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, Sammy Guevara against Eddie Kingston, Shota Umino, and ROH Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta. Which way do you want to go, Greg, with this one?
Wow, this is a good match. Jericho and Suzuki on one side. That's a formidable lineup there. And of course, we love Sammy. Maybe not his character right now, but Sammy's going to be Sammy, and Sammy's going to do Sammy things, and it's going to be amazing. So the more unknown quantities are on the other side. With we know what Yuta can do, but Kingston's the wild card, and we don't know who the third man in this match is as far as what he can do in the ring and things like that. So he's kind of the joker in the deck. So there's not really us versus them in this match, so you can't really go wrong. But I'm going to go with Team Jericho in this one.
Okay. I feel like Jericho and the Kingston are just going to do the brawl thing they did with that Rampage, where they just kept going at each other. So it feels like they almost kissing each other out. So I'm going to go Kingston's team with the Wheeler Yuta maybe pinning Sammy. Give the crowd kind of a... Because you got to think Jericho won the hair versus hair match. So I feel like with this one, now Blood and Guts, of course, will be a whole nother... that, who knows which way that could go. But I'm going to go with...
That's kind of why I'm thinking Jericho wins here, because the bigger match can be Blood and Guts. That would be a spot for Eddie to win.
Yeah. And that's why I think if he doesn't factor into the decision, I'm okay if they win this match and the next. And then, we can keep going. So, Oh, look at this. We have a special guest just in time. We're only on about the third match, so David can catch right up with us. Or some dork, as he is calling himself on that.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, gang?
So we'll let the wonderful people of Superkickin know who you are real quick. I will jump back through the slides, and you can give us our quick kind of predictions if you don't mind.
Right. So my name is David Potter. I am AKA somebody that's irrelevant compared to the great Steven, but I'm happy to be on the program talking about some pro wrestling with the great Steven on his broadcast. And what's going on? The Greg one.
The Greg one, that is my co-host, who you have not met yet, but this is David Potter, who is Calgary, or say one more time, Heart Stampede Wrestling?
Heart Legacy Wrestling. I did commentate.
Heart Legacy, sorry.
Nice.
And a former MMA guy, correct?
Yep, former MMA guy. Some MMA
Greg
guy.
is a former,
Hey,
Greg is a
there we
former
go.
MMA guy, so you two guys could just kick my ass one day.
That's what's up. I'm a huge MMA guy, you know,
Cool,
going
brother.
back to the first season of Tough, and I've been a MMA lifer ever since.
Yeah, man.
So,
That was a good season, especially as a Trojan horse to introducing people to combat sports and mixed martial arts. It's kind of like packaged to get MMA on network television, considering that MMA was pretty much banned on network television. The last time they did
yeah,
a show on MMA was probably 2002, 2003. 2002, best damn sports show, period, when Chuck Liddell fought against Vitor Belfort. That was the last time MMA was actually on television. And it was packaged as a reality TV show to get on public television, you know, dress it up as a reality TV show to educate people on mixed martial arts. And ever since then, it's been booming. As they predicted, you know, they invested all that money in the show. So, and the rest is history,
Exactly.
as they say.
and you could add a better cast to start off with that season one.
Fuck yeah,
A
dude.
house full of Hall of Famers, as it turned out. So
Oh, yeah.
it was perfect from the word go. So
Hell yeah, brother.
yeah, huge fan.
And I have no idea. I'm just going to smile and nod. That's what I do when I don't understand something. So, David, let's slide back. Do you care about the buy-in matches? Do you want to just go quick fire here? Do you have the Gun Club and Acclaimed, or do you have the New Japan guys in this first buy-in match?
Yeah,
Do you like the Acclaimed? How about that?
with the Gun Club, I like what they're doing, and especially with Billy Gunn and working with Billy Gunn, and you know, I'm glad that Austin Gunn and other Gunn, Colin Gunn. I'm glad that they're pushing him. I'm glad they're giving him a push, and obviously putting against Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn obviously had a tremendous career in the WWE, and you know, as a King of the Ring winner, Intercontinental Champion, you know, tag team legend, hardcore legend. You know, you couldn't pick a better guy, and you know, being sons of a legend. And I like the fact that you know they're pushing the second generation stars, especially what they're doing with Taz's son Hook. I like the second generation stars coming up, and they're obviously following you know their father, famous father's path. I'd really like them to continue building up the Guns, and I like them to you know get the win. I think they're all fucking talented, and Max Callister also. Yeah, but this is kind of like a tricky match to call, considering that with New Japan and with AEW and their arrangement they have, and don't mean to kill kayfabe, but you know, obviously New Japan's going to have to win some matches, and you know this is going to be a key. Well, it's not going to be a key match in a lot of people's eyes. It's kind of like mid carders to high carders. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Alex Collin and Yuya and DKC and Kevin Knight to get the W.
All right, how about this one? Everyone's favorite Nightmare Factory head, Chief, QT Marshall, and Aaron Solo versus Haruki Goto and Yoshihashi.
Yeah, what do you think about this one, Greg?
I'm taking Team Japan in this one because I can't stand QT Marshall, and he is going to be the anchor that drowns your team no matter how many people are in it. So
Yeah.
I'm taking Team Japan just for that alone.
I just don't know if we've ever seen a more plain wrestler than QT. Like, you know, to actually get TV time. I mean,
Yeah, and I really like Yoshi in this match too. I think they're gonna be able to complement each other's styles, and I'm gonna go with Team Japan also. But Yoshi, I hope he does more matches in AEW, and Hiroki, I hope he does also. Both are talented in their own right, but I'm gonna have to go with Team Japan on this one.
okay. And then finally, the last buy-in match is probably the one I think is most intriguing because you have the little swerves in the crack of the foundation of Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus El Desperado and Yoshinobu. No, I already said it differently.
Tamari. Yeah.
There you go. So which one you got here, David?
Keith Lee needs a big win, and obviously it's going around the forums how Keith Lee's not getting his due, despite the fact that he was one of the biggest names on the next roster. He comes to AEW and he's a mid-carder? Like, I don't think he's getting the push he deserves. I think he needs a big win while people are watching, and the most people are watching, and the most eyeballs, especially from the New Japan audience and the AEW. I want just from a talent standpoint, I like Keith Lee and Swerve to win, just because I need Keith. Not necessarily for Swerve, but I think Keith Lee needs a huge push, and I would like him to get this win.
Yeah, I think Swerve is getting over just fine, but Keith Lee, I still they were doing a couple of good things with him, and then like you said, they just throw him on Elevation and Dark and hope that we catch that to see him picking up wins. Which, I'll be honest, I do not watch Elevation and Dark. So, other than this scrolling tab across the bottom, I couldn't tell you who's picking up wins. So, now here's where it gets cooking, David. Zack Sabre versus TBA. Who is your TBA pick?
Taka Michinoku.
Oh.
I don't really know, man. Who do you think, Greg? You'd probably know better than me.
I picked Cesaro. I think he's a natural fit with his history with Regal, Danielson, and Moxley, and he would fit hand in glove in the BCC. So he's my pick.
And I'm going to go out on the limb and say Johnny Gargano, because he was spotted in Chicago over the weekend, David, and he was doing a signing, and then he wanted to swerve us by taking a picture of the departures lane for the O'Hare Airport up there. So that is but it's probably going to be Cesaro.
Imagine if Bray Wyatt just fucking pops out and starts eating souls. That would be great.
Braun Strowman shows up as David.
Or the Fiend pops up, like lights go dark and goes, and he's eating a child. That'd be great.
I would love that.
I just fit right in with what's been happening in the U.S. this week. That's a whole nother ball of wax. So, anyways, how about this one, David? We got Team Jericho versus Team Kingston.
I'm gonna go with Jericho with this one.
Okay. Have you got to see any of the Jericho Appreciation Society?
Yeah, I seen him with the Wizard and fucking just, I like the gimmick. I liked him better with the Inner Circle.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked his work better with the Inner Circle. But yeah, I think Suzuki, as a former Pancrase champion, obviously an MMA veteran, incredible wrestler and pro wrestler in his own right. Sammy Guevara, I think, is going to be pretty much the next name of the company. I guarantee you could put the entire franchise on his shoulders and he can make money. I think he's a huge marquee name, and he should be in the future. And obviously, Chris Jericho needs no introduction. I'm gonna go with Chris Jericho's team for the W.
There you go. And then now we're caught up. So there we go. This one, there's been a change. I believe we are down to a trios match. So you have the dudes with attitudes, which is Sting, Darby Allin, and it will be Shingo Takagi. Did I say it correct? Hopefully, maybe. And then we've got the Bullet Club, which is the Young Bucks and El Phantasmo. I'm going Bullet Club. Or no, actually, I'm going to go Darby and Sting, because I think Darby and Sting are going to get a tag team title shot.
Right.
Just to do it, because why not?
True.
It's great. It's because we just have to keep seeing Sting out there, Greg. So yeah.
Okay.
Greg, who do you think?
Who do you got, Greg?
And Steve knows the thing that I'm hating most in AEW is seeing Sting in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, we loved him in WCW doing his thing as a young man, but I don't need to see all these young studs sell punches from a 60-year-old Sting. No, I'm done with it. I'm so over it. You know, be at the ring, be at ringside, be a manager, be a mentor, but don't get in the ring and start, you
Exactly.
know, pretending that you're 30 years younger. I mean, I'm sick of it. I don't want to see it anymore. So
Yeah.
similar to the QT Marshall thing, I don't want to see Sting wrestling on any semi-regular kind of, you know, basis at all. I mean, I'm done watching Sting wrestle. So for that alone, I'm picking the Bullet Club.
How about you, David?
I think the main incentive that Sting got for signing with AEW was, in fact, AEW's like, yeah, I know your last run with the WWE, you were putting over Triple H. I know you were putting over Seth Rollins. I know, but we're gonna do it right, and we're gonna make you this phenom and this world beater again. And we're gonna bring back the mystique of Sting. And I think that was the main incentive for Sting signing, was he was going to be the guy again. But you know, why would you want to be the guy? Why not be able to put over new talent and everything? And you know, as obviously we're all wrestling fans. Like, who would want to? We were all probably Hulksters and Hulkamania and stuff, but who wants to see Hulk Hogan wrestle again in his 60s or 70s? I mean, who wants to see that? I mean, I was very, very adamant. I did not want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin come back, because you always play that risky game where, yeah, you can get the nostalgia factor and you can get all those fans and the people that love Stone Cold Steve Austin, but you can also see one of your heroes get hurt or have a heart attack in the ring, or, you know, drop dead or put on a bad performance that doesn't do his legacy justice and why we were all fans in the first place. And to Greg's point, and I completely agree with him, like, I do not want to see Sting in the ring again. I loved him as a mentor role and mentoring Darby Allin. You know, I love to see him as a coach as opposed to a competitor, because it's not believable. Like, the Bullet Club should handle it from a psychology standpoint. The Bullet Club should handle a 60-year-old man, and it doesn't do any of the younger talent justice when Sting's throwing them around the ring and killing them. Like, oh, the tag team champions of the world, greatest tag team of all time, and right now, pound for pound, one of the best tag teams in any promotion, is getting thrown around by a 6-year-old man and selling for a 6-year-old man. It just doesn't do any of the young guys justice. It doesn't move the needle further with the guys that are going to be carrying the sport for the next 20 years. And I want to see the Bullet Club win. I agree with Greg.
Yeah, and you know, like, I don't care for Sting at all.
Yeah.
You know, I thought if they did that, whatever that one match with him and Darby, the filmed, you know, the cinema match, that was kind of his return match. You just end it there. He was just keep there, but we keep seeing him out there, and yeah, guys have to keep selling the hell out of him. By the way, real quick, is anyone going to watch Ric Flair's last match ever?
Oh my God! So
That is a big fat no from me.
you know, it hurts my heart because I am the biggest Ric Flair fan. After my dude McIntyre succumbed to an untimely end to his wrestling career, Ric Flair became my guy. And I'm happy that for 2.5 decades, he was at the top of his game, putting down 5-star matches everywhere he went. And then he got old one day. He turned on TV and he's, you know, saggy, wrinkly, and you know, he had the great WrestleMania moment with Shawn Michaels, and you know, then it was time to pass the baton on to the next guy. We know that Ric Flair's almost died twice, maybe 3 times in the last decade at least, and now he's, you know, 73 years old, about to have his last match. He's got a pacemaker. He's had both, I believe, hips, knees replaced, and I cringe when I think about it because, you know, one bad bump and his whole body could just splinter into 1,000 pieces right there on the mat. And I don't want that of my guy. You know, cut all the promos you want in the world, do all the commercials for ED medicine and car insurance that you want, but you stop taking bumps. You know, I don't want this man to die in the ring. He's 73 years old already. You know, go off into the sunset. You go into a commentary. I would love to hear him on the commentator steps, but I'm scared for him in this last match, just thinking of all the things that can possibly go wrong.
go work on his marriage. I mean, he was separated from his
No kidding.
wife for a bit, and now they're back together all of a sudden. So, like, come on. So, uh, next up, this one. How about this one? This is really intriguing because we all know who Orange Cassidy is and what he's about. I'm starting to learn what Will Ospreay's all about in the ring, Greg. I think it's all Will Ospreay in the end because I just can't see, IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship for Orange Cassidy. Even though I love Orange Cassidy to get a title sooner rather than later, but should be all Will. But I think it's going to be interesting to see the contrast of styles, and we might see some stuff out of Orange Cassidy we haven't seen ever, Greg. So, what do you think first? We'll go to David first. We'll go to our esteemed guest. Let him pick a side, and then we'll go to Greg.
Orange Cassidy is one of the most over mofos ever with the most minimum amount of work. I love for him to win this match, and I don't think he is, but I love for him to at least put on a good performance. I don't think he goes over Will Ospreay. I do not see it happening under any variables. This is one of the matches where it's going to be like kind of this is on AEW's, kind of doorstep. And this is, by all actuality, people and the fans are calling this an AEW pay-per-view as opposed to a New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view, even though it's combined. But this is going to be one of the matches where New Japan Pro Wrestling has to go over. Just looking at the card, I don't see Orange Cassidy winning, but I see him putting on like at least a good performance, being one of the most over human beings on planet Earth. I have to go with Will to retain the title.
And it does suck because Orange Cassidy's just back from injury.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
And like he's going to eat an L, but I think it's all about, we'll still see him on Wednesday night, and that's the thing. Then you could just give him back winning matches. So, which way are you going, Greg?
This is the match I'm probably looking forward to the most, to be honest with you, because I feel Orange Cassidy. I love this man, and it goes back to his whole presentation from day one. Me being never seen the guy before, but caught him with the gimmick right away. Slouch style, doesn't do anything quickly, and they milked that for a couple months before he had that first match with Pac, and we're all thinking he's going to get smoked, and he balled out. He had this killer match. That match still holds up. It's amazing, and he blew up, and that's what I want to see here. And I agree with what you say in the sense that he's just got back from injury, and the place is still mega over for him. It seems wrong that he would take an L here, but it's Will Ospreay outside of he's supposed to be like the man, the greatest wrestler that's not in outside of WWE and AEW. And this is kind of his coming out party. So I think that Ospreay will win, but I don't want him to because Orange is my guy, and I want him to see him ball out like he did against Pac a couple years ago and really show out about how great he can go when he's ready to do so. But I'll agree with you guys, and I think Ospreay will take the win, but I'm not gonna like it.
I mean, I even wonder if we could just do a short run for Orange as IWGP United States Champion, where maybe he wins it tonight and then loses it Wednesday night, but gets some sort of fluky, upset win, and maybe you keep Will Ospreay in the States for a couple more days, but we shall see. We have, Greg, I think we got our first YouTube best profile picture ever. Look at this comment by the Gaston. I love our guy Big Ben that's in our chat all the time, Greg.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
But we do not ever have Gaston from Beauty and the Freaking Beast in our chat. This
nice.
This is like, we officially made it. So thank you, Gaston, for joining us. If you want to get Belle or the Beast or Lumiere or Mrs. Potts, and who else is there? The Clock. if anyone ever want to join the chat, just let us know. But this is the best profile picture ever. Best username right there of the night. That is Stephen A. 1181's best comment of the night so far by the best profile picture. So thank you, Gaston, for joining us.
Thank you, Gaston.
No one makes comments like Gaston. So there we go.
No one comments like Gaston.
All right, back to the real talk. Tony Storm, Thunder Rosa, first time ever. This is not New Japan related, even though Tony Storm was technically in Japan at some point. So I guess they're just going with that. This will be all Thunder Rosa. My high on my girl crush, Greg, as you've realized lately. I don't know if you've noticed that, but high on
What's up with all the rumors going around that Thunder Rosa doesn't sell well? She's not easy to work with. Like, what's going on with that?
There was some. I guess her and who was it? Marina had a little beef, but it looked like that got settled. So I don't know if it was just an off night. I mean, we all have off nights, at the office. So maybe it was just one of those that you're working as hard as you can, and one night you're just off. So I don't know what that was about. I hope it was just that one fluky night. I guess we'll see tonight. Thunder Rosa hasn't wrestled since then, so this is the night. And, I think she's going to be pumped. It's like she said, this is her first time wrestling Tony Storm, and she's wanted to wrestle Tony Storm. So, Greg, which way are you going, Thunder or Rosa or Tony Storm?
I'm taking Thunder Rosa. She just won the championship a couple months ago. I think it's too early to pull the plug. And but they do need to do better with her as far as giving her exposure, giving her mic time. Every time she's on the stage about to do an interview, somebody interrupts her. She never gets to say her piece. So I think she gets the win, but they definitely need to do more with her, do by her.
And actually, yeah, like let her. We never see her in the ring getting an interview with Tony Schiavone. It's always on the ramp or in the backstage. It's like put her in front of the audience. Like the crowd loves her.
Yeah.
So let her have some of that exposure because she wants to do so much more than be a champion. Like she's talking about representing the culture, and that's huge because the Latina culture. How much is there really for them out there? So. Which way are you going? Some dork?
I'm gonna go with Tony Storm to win this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Tony Storm. I think Thunder Rosa. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tony Storm. I'm gonna stick with Tony Storm.
New champion.
She's got a look. People love her. I'm gonna go with Tony Storm.
Okay, there you go. Next up, this is where I need Excalibur to read this in his one breath. Reading. Winner take all triple threat match. ROH Sweep Champions FTR versus IWGP Champions United States Empire versus Roppongi Vice. Winners will leave with all titles. That was my best Excalibur trying to get every single reading done. Greg, which way are we going?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with FTR just because I don't see.
I'm so sad about that.
I'm not a fan of. I don't feel. I'm not feeling Roppongi Vice.
Yeah.
I know they're a big deal in Japan, but from what I've seen of them,
I don't think it's
I don't get it.
AEW.
Right, and then the United Empire. We're just getting our first view of them, so we really don't know how good they are. They've had 2 matches so far, and they really didn't show anything that we haven't seen 100 times. So I have to go with the favorites and take FTR.
Yeah, FTR has been on such a roll. Which way are you going, David?
I'm gonna go with fuck the Revival. I think fuck the Revival to attain, forever the Revival. But I'm gonna go with them to retain
and win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them for the W.
Yeah, I think they're going to get all that. I just want them to have every title. Give them all the freaking titles we can get. Just all the tag team titles. That Triple H picture where he has all the titles like draped around him, and they're all just strapped to him. Just give them I mean, it's pretty amazing to see FTR. There was that time when I thought they were kind of on the lull, Greg, and now all of a sudden everything just clicked, and it's good to see for them because I wasn't too sure if maybe the AEW run was going to be, that great. We had, and of course, they debuted in the pandemic era, which was tough to ask broken Matt Hardy about that. I think
Right.
I think it's really hurt him, and he hasn't recovered since. So, I just think with the crowd now, and like we said, I think the singles matches of Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood actually helped them because we can see what they can do as singles guys, and we can see what they do as tag team. So
Right.
we see the best of both. And this one, oh my God, this is like.
Put the belt on Adam Cole, please. Please, God.
You're going Adam. Are you going to go with him? Are you going to?
Okada's probably going to win, but Adam Cole winning would be This is one from 6 to midnight, man. If Adam Cole wins,
What do you think of Adam Cole's run so far in AEW?
I think you can always do more, but that's just because expectations have always been high towards Adam Cole. I think you can always do more. Again, one of those guys you can put the entire company on his back. I think he can do more. I think Okada's going to win, but yeah. It's leaning towards that way, considering there's one New Japan wrestler that's in there right now. And Okada is over like Rover, so yeah, I think I'm going to go with Okada.
And how about you, Greg? Which way are you going?
This is a weird one for me just because I know Okada's reputation. I know in Japan he is the man. He is the
Rainmaker.
Ric Flair. He is the Roman Reigns. He is like the top of the top of the top.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So that being said, I've never seen a single Okada match in my life. But this is the Japan World Heavyweight title. So I don't know if it would make sense to put it on any of the other three because, how much are they going to lend those guys out to go to Japan and defend that title on the basis that he does? What I want to see is why Okada is as great as he is. I want to see him be awesome. And so, okay, this is why he's the man. So that's why I'm really looking forward to this match. Just because it's my first time seeing Okada do anything. Almost the same for Jay White. We've only seen, quick cameos for Jay White in one real match. So I want the same thing from Jay White because I know he's one of the top guys in Japan also. So that being said, just off the reputation alone, I'm going to say Okada also.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I would love to see Adam Cole get it and just listen to him run his mouth and, be that guy and see what happens with that. But for the record, I'll call it Okada.
And I love my boy Hangman, but Hangman ain't winning this match. Adam Cole's been working hurt, but he ain't winning this match. I'm going to stick with the Switchblade. He just got the title, I think it was 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. So I can't see him giving it right back to Okada. And I think him, retaining, maybe he pins Adam Cole, just to kind of screw that over. And then, Jay, I would like to see Jay White do a little more with AEW. I think his name is big enough, and I feel like I'd like to see him more on TV, to kind of see what he could do in AEW. But it'll be my first taste of Okada as well. So I'm really curious to see what he can do. And watching Adam Cole, like I said, he's working hurt. You wonder if he'll even do that much in the match. I guess a fatal four-way is nice in a way because he can probably lay back a little bit and not have to work as much if need be. So. Next up, what do we got? How about this one? This is another new title, the inaugural AEW All-Atlantic title. We did have a switch here as well. By the way, people are calling this the Forbidden Curse pay-per-view because there's just been so much. And just it was 2 weeks ago, Greg? I think we had maybe 1 or 2 matches scheduled, and now they finally, filled out the card for us. So
Yeah.
it's probably been tough for both sides to kind of work. But so Clark Connors, who I have no idea, I'll just say it right off the top. No clue who this guy's all about. David, do you have any insight onto this guy for us? Do you have any?
Not much. I know Black, I know Pac, I know Miro, and I know I don't know Clark Connors, so I know nothing about him. I think he was kind of like a fill-in.
Yeah.
I forgot who got injured. It was
Ishii.
Yes. Ishii got injured.
TV, and he was on AEW a few times.
Yeah.
Already.
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no! I'm sorry for interrupting you. I apologize.
No, I was just going to say, I think he was with the Best Friends a couple of times, or in a match against them, either way. I forget which way it went. But he's been on AEW a couple times. Who are we going with, though, David?
Yeah, I'm going to go with probably Black. I think it's just lean towards that direction. Pac could... Yeah, this is one of those matches like... Because I see... Yeah, I see ways that Miro can win and why it would make sense, but I also see why Pac and Black, considering that... either Pac or Black. I'll just go with Black. Fuck it. I'm going to go with Black.
Well, they have a hell of a title. I feel like, Miro had the TNT title, and he did a lot with it. I wrote, he was one of the better champions they had, especially, and I think his kind of came in the middle of the pandemic era, but for what he was doing. So I think it's got to be Malachi Black as well. I think if we want the House of Black to really start meaning something, they're going to have to win some gold or do more, be in some sort of main event picture, even if they're not going to hold title. We're still just starting the Julia Hart aspect of it. You have them talking a big game, and they win matches here and there, but they don't, they haven't really won anything big. So I think Malachi Black holding the All-Atlantic title would really be a good start for them. And I think Pac will be okay. I just don't have him eat the L. I think, then that way you keep, Dead Triangle and House of Black if you still want to go that back and forth. So, Greg, are you going for 3-0 here with Malachi?
Well, I will say he is my favorite person in this match. Mm-hmm. I've loved Malachi Black since day one, all the way back to Aleister Black. I still brag, David, that I was there for his first match in WWE at NXT TakeOver WrestleMania 33 weekend, and the debuted against Andrade, and we're sitting in there in the Amway Center. We'd seen the vignettes, but hadn't seen him wrestle before, and his music hits, and everybody's headbanging, and it's like, we don't know who this guy is, but we already like him. And of course, it comes out he is who he is, and he kills it. So I've loved the guy since day one, and I want to see him win this match, but just because I still love Miro's angle too, and they've represented him as, he's still the destroyer he used to be, but he's switching up his style a little bit, where instead of being, God's favorite champion, he's going to be, more on the dark side, and he's going to start destroying kids. And that neck of sand, as they used to call it, has been fixed. So, what does that mean? I could see him winning this match. So, just to go oppo a little bit, I'm going to call it for Miro.
And I believe, there we go. Is there any doubt Moxley's winning this?
Moxley's going to win. This is like the dumbest contest ever. You might as well let him go in the ring, finger poke of doom, and hand him the belt, because it wouldn't get any more fucking obvious that Jon Moxley's going to win. Jon Moxley, once again, if you're going to put someone in the place of CM Punk, which arguably costed AEW thousands and thousands of dollars, probably $500,000 to $1 million to get him in. And then all that money invested into marketing, ice cream bars, everything, putting the title on him, building him up, only for him to get injured. The one guy that is equal and equates to his mic skills, ring ability, etc., is Jon Moxley. And obviously, AEW has built this up and built up Jon Moxley There's no other reason why Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to beat Jon Moxley. Because I can't even pronounce his name, but Jon Moxley is a household name in North America. Jon Moxley is going to win this, and maybe the receipt, and maybe he gets payback in Japan when they challenge and they do whatever, but Jon Moxley has to win this bout. This is a lock. This is pretty much a lock of the night. It doesn't get more obvious.
Yeah, they could maybe make the internet explode and just put on the title on Tanahashi, because if you're trying to get back to CM Punk and him, but we don't know. But Punk's going to be out for a while, so that's only downfall. So yeah, it's got to be Moxley.
Right.
And Greg, are you gonna pull the upset of the century?
Is he going to be the ball breaker? Is he going to pick Tanahashi?
I mean, I know I owe you one shirt.
Well, let me throw the argument out there, and then let's see. Okay, so all right, so we know Tanahashi is he's not Okada, but he is one of the biggest names in Japan, right?
Correct.
Okay, so there's that. Apparently, Moxley has been hunting Tanahashi forever, and so it's lends the question why. Is it because Tanahashi's beaten him before and he wants to get the win back? Is it because he is that good and he wants to prove himself against Tanahashi? It's one of those things. We don't know how good Tanahashi is. We didn't see any physicality with him really, and we had a army of people fighting around him while those two stood in the ring and stared in each other's eyes. It's very interesting. And then, are we ready for Moxley against Punk down the road and making a transition there?
Yeah.
Or would it be more intriguing if they pulled a swerve of all swerves, put it on Tanahashi after a 10-star match against Moxley, where we really see, okay, this is why Moxley was after this guy, because he is amazing. And now this is what Punk has to look forward to. Can they put down that type of match that makes us worry for Punk against him? So there we go. There's some bricks in the foundation right there. So,
but
you just call me devil's advocate. So,
hey, I appreciate it.
It's
you got both sides, right? I mean, you got to give.
It gives you some juicy plot lines to see. Does anything, does any of the spaghetti stick on the wall? How about the double swerve where the Japan guy gets the AEW title and the AEW guy gets the Japan title? So, say David's scenario and Adam Cole wins the IWGP title.
You might put the AEW title on Tanahashi just to mix things up.
Right. So,
but
crazy scenarios. But Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
I tried.
Hey, I appreciate you. Because like we said, you gotta go both sides.
yeah.
Are you looking forward to tonight, David? Do you think this has been cursed, as some people have said, or do you think it still will deliver?
I think they've always history has shown that whenever there is that super card, whenever there's a way too many cooks in the kitchen, you never know if politics is going to get in the way of putting on a good card. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't think of it when Jerry Lawler faced off against the Texas Tornado, Kevin Ball, Eric. Remember that super card when they were both champions? It was I forget, it was years and years and years ago when Jerry the King's Lawler's promotion fought against Texas All Pro Wrestling, or whatever the name was. But you always have that problem. And the reason why the Forbidden Door has never opened in the first place is because everyone wants their guys to win, or you want their guys to win. You never know when politics can get in the way of putting on the best card possible. If they could put business aside and say, hey, we want to just put on an epic event because it's going to help out both promotions. I don't want to see like 1,000 disqualification wins. I don't want to see 1,000 no contests or draws or anything like that. You never know when it comes to super cards of if egos are going to clash, if too many cooks are in the kitchen, which, everyone wants their promotion to look superior to the other promotion. It's going to be fascinating to see if they can communicate together and actually put on a banger card like both of them can, and just put business aside and say, hey, let's work together. Our guys can win here. Your guys can win here. Let's just all make each other look good. Because obviously, pro wrestling's a show, but there's a lot of real stuff that goes on that people don't have a respect for, which I do, you do, and Greg does. So that's going to be the interesting thing to see is if they don't flub this up, everyone's going to look incredible. It's going to be an incredible card. And yeah, I'm excited for every single match on this card. But more importantly, I'm excited for Moxley to take the helm and seeing what he does with it. Because he was never the guy. Even though he was the guy or the champion, he was never the guy. So I want to say I'm excited for Moxley to finally become the guy and see what he does with it in AEW.
And in front of the crowd. Because he's pretty much champion during the pandemic. Like the height of it. So. Real quick, David, do you have anything you'd like to plug? Do you have any shows you're commentating for?
Oh, yes. So I have Bare Knuckle Insiders that are coming up at 8 p.m. I didn't put them up head to head against Steven because obviously I wanted to do the show and we didn't want to get our asses kicked. We fear Steven and Greg. So obviously moved our show to 8 p.m.
I appreciate it.
Back to my boys. So, Bare Knuckle Insiders tonight. We have two great guests on and obviously with Fight Mixer, and we're really, really excited and always an honor to be on. Obviously, it was Father's Day, and I love talking to you about pro wrestling. I could do it all night long, and you're the man, Steven. I have such a respect for your opinion, and BW Sports, one of the best out there. And yeah, shout out to you guys. That's who I want to give a plug to when show coming up. So
we appreciate it, and we'll of course have you on. I know you want to talk Vince McMahon, and we will need to make time for that. I noticed that is it's kind of not went away, but it's not as the smoke isn't as fiery anymore.
Yeah.
So but I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I don't know about that. Right. So, yes, we will have you back on sooner rather than later, of course.
Please. Always an honor talking to you, my friend.
Awesome. And then, Greg, how are you doing? Anything you want to plug? Any sports that you want to throw out there real quick?
Yeah. It's curious you were talking about. That's right. And I finally made my decision that I'm going to go with the red Bloodline t-shirt. So
you can look like me because I have the black.
There we go.
So David, this is an outside WWE bet that we had. We had the Warriors of Golden State and the Celtics of Boston. And of course, like APL there, even though the Celtics were up 2-1, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I owe the Greg won a red Bloodline t-shirt. Send me your size and you're okay from the WWE shop.
There you go. You can do it on Mondays when the shirts are half off or whatever they do every Monday.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well,
they're always some sort of 20-30% off every other day. It feels like. So.
Exactly. And talk about you were mentioning the BKFC bare knuckle fighting. I just ran into Big Ben Rothwell, who is on this way to that event you're talking about.
Wow.
In the airport.
Holy shit.
I work in the airport, and he was on one of my flights, and I recognized him. He was wearing one of his Rockwell MMA shirts. So he wasn't exactly trying to go incognito. And so I had to give him a shout out, say how you doing, and good luck with bare knuckle. It's like, yeah, I'm going to an event right now, and kind of poke him to see who he's going to be fighting. And he didn't have an opponent yet, but I'd heard Greg Hardy being mentioned in the same breath as him. And I asked him about Greg Hardy. It's like, not yet, but I know they just signed him. And, if he wants, he can get it. So
it could also be Bobo O'Bannon, who his wife is actually a host on one of her shows for Bare Knuckle Insiders that's going to be on later. But I'm hearing rumblings about Bobo O'Bannon taking that flight, but you never know. I mean, it's a fast rising sport, and I'm happy to be a part of the community promoting it. And yeah, Ben, that makes things very, very interesting with big old Ben being in the mix.
Yeah, he's going to be in the building. He's going to be watching. So that could happen. Anytime I get to see Greg Hardy get knocked out, I will love it. And,
that's a name I haven't heard in a while. But
yeah.
Hey, he got smoked in the UFC and he's out of there. So
Fair
I'll let
enough.
him get smoked
That's a
in
good
bare
point.
knuckle.
Cowboys guy, right?
Yeah, did a lot of bad things and ended up getting kicked out of the league. So he's
Yep.
a dirt bag and he deserves getting his butt kicked by guys his own size. So
Yep.
I'll just say that. Uh, Aside from that, this is a good UFC weekend, and you don't care about that, but and I'll give you another chance to get back. I noticed the Chargers play the Colts this year. I don't know if you saw that on the schedule, but
Yeah, I guess
I'm a Chargers guy. I'm a Chargers guy to my core, David, and of course he is a Colts guy, and we play each other this season. Around the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I forgot which one it is, but somewhere around the holidays, the Colts play the Chargers. So there'll be another T-shirt on the line, or we'll have to figure out another bet.
Right.
But I'll give you a chance to get even.
They actually banned abortions. So, but thank God the New England Patriots are still playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Patriots fan, and we have some rebuilding to do. So yeah. I tell everybody in New York that, and everyone makes fun of me. But hopefully with Mac Jones, we can build up an offense around him and give him some weapons. We'll see what happens.
Hey, well, you can all enjoy watching my Chargers win the championship this year. So
I will, sir. I will.
Just floating that out there.
Right.
They got to get past the Rams. They got to beat LA, right? Get out there. So. And then I'll just say shout out to my Pacers. Got our guy, Benedict Mathurin. That was the name that kept coming up. There were some people here, of course, that wanted Jaden Ivey because of the Indiana ties. He played at Purdue. I thought that'd be a lot of pressure. It made me think back to Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward was drafted right before Paul George, and a lot of people wanted Gordon Hayward here. And there's rumblings out there that we might end up getting Gordon Hayward anyway. So, but yeah, that's all I got on my end, and my patience. We got to get back to Ruffin season. If we're another year of 25 wins, Greg. I mean, Pacer fans Indiana fans are sports, are fair weather anyway. If there's another 25, 30 win season, whew, it's going to get ugly. So.
Yeah, plenty of good seats available in the stadium is what you're saying, right?
So, anyways, we got to get going so we can watch the buy-in. Thank you, David. Thank you, Greg.
problem.
We will.
Thank you, David.
No problem.
Scheduled next week. So Saturday is Money in the Bank.
Ooh.
We'll be live Saturday. And then, Greg, do we want to go live again on Sunday and kind of catch up on Money in the Bank and catch up on AEW?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. We'll do Saturday, Sunday. So you'll get twice the pleasure, just like the ladies like. Whichever way.
Yeah.
Whoever likes it. Everybody likes it. Double the fun of Greg and Steven twice next weekend.
Fuck yeah.
And then welcome back, David, if you want to come through.
Fuck yeah, man. Dude, I'm bet. It's Saturday.
Double the pleasure.
Fuck yeah, man.
Oh, and we'll have to talk to Raphael. I'm sure he'll be live because it's in Las Vegas. So maybe we'll see what we can do with Raphael.
Ooh, that'll be
yeah.
groovy.
Our betting guy. He forgot to give me the odds, so he's going to be a little upset that he forgot to give me the betting odds tonight. So we'll have to get back on that.
And Gaston, come back through, brother.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Gaston, please come back. Ring bell.